I shivered as the relentless rain drummed against the windows of our ancestral home in the small village of Mayapur. Monsoon season had arrived, casting a veil of darkness over the town. With each passing night, the atmosphere grew increasingly ominous, and I found myself trapped in a chilling nightmare. As the storm raged outside, I sought solace within the confines of our home. But no amount of familiar comfort could dispel the unease that settled deep within me. The creaking floorboards seemed to whisper secrets, and the flickering candlelight cast eerie shadows on the walls. I was not alone in my fear. My parents, engrossed in their own worries, brushed off my concerns as childish imagination. They could not comprehend the heavy presence that hung in the air, suffocating my every breath. Night after night I would retreat to my bedroom, praying for the storm to pass. But as the wind howled, it carried with it a chorus of ghostly moans, as if the spirits of the land were mourning. My heart raced with each crack of thunder, and the darkness seemed to grow thicker, suffusing the room with a malevolent energy. It was during one particularly stormy night that the true horrors began. As I lay in bed, seeking refuge beneath the covers, I heard a soft scratching sound coming from the corner of the room. I held my breath, straining my ears to discern its origin. The sound grew louder, more insistent, as if something were clawing its way towards me. Terror consumed me as I saw shadows dance along the walls. My heart pounded in my chest as the scratching grew closer, and I could no longer deny that something sinister lurked in the darkness. I wanted to scream, but fear paralyzed my voice, and then the scratching stopped abruptly, replaced by an eerie silence. A cold draft brushed against my cheek, and I could feel the weight of unseen eyes upon me. A presence lingered in the room, its malevolence palpable. I mustered the courage to switch on the bedside lamp, hoping to dispel the darkness that threatened to consume me. But as the light flooded the room, my heart sank. Standing before me was a spectral figure draped in tattered garments, its eyes hollow and filled with despair. I could not tear my gaze away from the apparition. Its ethereal form seemed to flicker with every lightning strike, revealing a face contorted in anguish. A voice echoed in my mind, whispering ancient tales of sorrow and lost souls. Fear overwhelmed me, but I refused to succumb. Drawing strength from deep within, I confronted the ghostly presence. With quivering lips, I demanded to know its purpose, why it had chosen our house as its haunt. The figure remained silent, its eyes pleading for release. A surge of empathy washed over me, and I realized that this ghostly specter was not a malevolent entity, but a tormented soul yearning for freedom. Its ethereal form began to fade, and in that moment a sense of peace washed over me. From that night onward, the house no longer held me captive in its web of terror. The storm outside continued to rage, but I no longer feared its wrath. The presence that once haunted my dreams had found solace, released from its eternal torment. As the monsoon gradually faded, so did the lingering unease that had plagued our home. The spirits of Mayapur whispered tales of the girl who had confronted the supernatural, her bravery becoming legend in the town. And though the memories of that haunting period still sent chills down my spine, I emerged stronger, armed with the knowledge that even in the darkest of nights, the human spirit can triumph over fear.